Hello. Okay, so my camera stopped working. My tripod broke the week before I started recording. My camera broke the week after I recorded. So here I am using my phone. In fact, I don't even know how my hair looks. All I know is that I'm here to deliver a message. So let's do this. Hold on. Oh, okay, a bit. All right. Today we're talking about our inner child. But I wanted to make the topic healing and embracing your inner child. This is a follow-up from last week's episode. I hope you guys can hear me well. This is a follow-up from last week's episode. So last week's episode was on embracing your shadow side. It is through embracing your shadow side and healing all the trauma and pain that is within your shadow side that you start to reconcile with your inner child. I'll give you something to visualize. For me, I've always been childlike, but people have always made that seem as if that's childish, that's naive. What is being childlike? Being childlike is approaching things the way a child would. A child thinks anything is possible. A child believes all their dreams can come true. A child is trusting. A child is intuitive. A child is very into their emotions. A child can read situations without being told. A child is loving. A child is not judgmental. All those light-hearted feelings that come with being a child, that's what being childlike is. It doesn't mean you're childish or I think it's very somehow when people call me naive just because I'm trusting or just because I'm willing to take a leap of faith that they won't take. That is not my problem. If you can't do that, then don't project your limitations on me. I'm doing my own thing and I'm enjoying it. So why is it disturbing you? I always just get that. I used to get that annoying feeling, but now I'm just like, it's not something that you can comprehend, so that doesn't affect me in any way. But that's what being childlike is about. Approaching life the way a child would. So the thing is that when people begin to look into their trauma, they begin to look into their shadow side, they begin to heal things from the roots and the core, they start to get to reconcile with their inner child. Let me make an example. Let me say an example. How I started to heal my inner child was by healing my trauma. You find out that most of your trauma is from childhood, how we were raised and parenting styles, maybe school and bullying, friends that we made, society, the conditions that you lived in, etc., etc. So because of those factors, there's a way that your mind and feelings would have been programmed. For example, if you grew up bullied, it's kind of like you would have this hidden programming within your subconscious that you are worthless, you are beneath other people are better than you, you are powerless. It's that kind of feeling that you carry with you into adulthood if you don't heal that. So you find that being expressed as insecurity when you see someone showing you love or someone treating you the way you're not used to being treated. You ask yourself if you're deserving of it, or you find that you can't really be sociable in certain environments because you don't want to be made fun of. You know those sad things that you just carry with you into adulthood. Or for example, I'll even talk about our parents. You know how most of our parents grew up with fear of their parents. So some parents now raising us, they try to imbibe the way they were raised onto us, so they raised us up with fear. It's kind of like a generational thing. If you as a person don't heal your trauma, you're going to transfer that trauma into your children and they will transfer it into their children, so it becomes a generational thing. Trust me that when you heal your trauma from childhood, or you heal all the trauma in your shadow side, you are healing your generation. Honestly, it's a deep thing. You are healing your generation. Imagine if, okay, your parents grew up in that era of being beaten. You couldn't talk to your parents about how they felt, couldn't share their dreams, couldn't even pursue their dreams because everybody wanted their children to do certain, careers that were in line with lawyer, doctor, etc. So they grew up. You are born. They want you to be a lawyer, doctor. They beat you. They don't talk to you about your feelings. They don't let you feel free to talk about your feelings. They intimidate you. So all the anger that you feel about being treated a particular way, you compress it inside because you don't know how to express it. Then you grow up into an adult. You start treating your children the same way. Then you may not even be able to connect with your wife or your husband because you've not learned how to express yourself. Stuff like that. That's how it happens. But really, what I'm talking about, and so this is one of my most interesting topics, like in healing your inner child. Like I said before, you heal your trauma from when you were growing up. You get to know where all the trauma started, where your programming started from, and how to go about healing it. Everybody heals in different ways, so that's subjected to your own way of thinking and being. But let me explain how my situation went. So I've always been childlike, like I said before, and honestly, even talking about this, I'm just like, eee! So like I've always been childlike. But the thing is that when my inner child, everybody has an inner child. When my inner child wasn't healed, I imagined me, my adult version, and my inner child trapped in a white room. My inner child, poor girl, she was just like sitting down on the floor, sad and scared because she didn't have anybody to fight for her when she was going through situations. She didn't have anybody that cared about, that were aware that she was sensitive. She was always shouted at. She was always, anxiety was always around her, so she picked up on that. She was always guilt was always projected onto her, so she always carried some kind of guilt that didn't have anything to do with her. So she was just there, sad, cold, rejected. And the way I am as a person, I treat myself as if I am my own child, in the sense that if you had a child, there's so many things you want to protect your child from, but you have to apply that way of thinking to yourself. You have to cuddle yourself, you have to heal yourself, you have to console yourself for things that happened in the past. If I had a child that was bullied, that was traumatized, I would do all I can to heal her, give her all the love that she needs, give her all the nurturing, provide a listening ear. That's what you do to yourself. That's how you heal yourself. And you have psychologists, you have therapists that can help with the process. I did it by myself because obviously stigma, but yeah, it wasn't easy, and I don't advise. I advise you talk to somebody, really. I really do. But how I went about healing my inner child, which is where I came from. I went about healing my trauma. Why do I feel a certain way? Why do I feel as though I am less than other people? Why do I always feel anxious? Why do I always feel scared? Why do I always feel like somebody's going to shout at me? Why do I feel like I can't talk to my parents about certain things? Why do I feel as if I can't even express myself? Because I realized that because I grew up not learning how to express myself to people, I carried that with me into adulthood. So I had to consciously, push myself to actually say, okay, I need to tell people what I'm going through. I carry things inside, or I used to. Okay, I'm trying to release a bit, but it's a gradual thing. So I had to go to the root of every single thing that was causing me pain. And you find that the root starts from childhood for most things. Trauma starts from childhood. But when you heal all of that, you heal your inner child. It got to a point where I had healed my inner child. She was healthy. Both of us were happy. But I still felt like we're still in that confined space, that white room. And all of a sudden, I was like, you're healed, right? She was like, yes. And I'm like, let's leave this place. So we broke the walls down. And we entered like a garden, a free place, a forest. Like that's what healing is about. Healing clears the old and makes way for new things. It makes way for abundance. It makes way for love and freedom and peace. It's a beautiful thing. So that's what That's how you heal your inner child. It's a process, yes, but to connect with that you, that hopeful you that was compressed or beaten or suppressed as life, as they became older. That's how you reconnect with your inner child, and it is so beautiful. Who doesn't want to live life like children? Who doesn't want to just have all the hopes and all the dreams? I know that anything is possible. I really dislike when you see kids and they're so happy and they're so lovable, and you now see parents saying, yeah, for now, who cares about life being that way, where you stop being all happy and naive and you just start to be more realistic. I hate being realistic. I'm not a realist. I'm sorry. I'm not. I choose to believe that anything is possible. I choose to believe in fairies and magic. What? Who doesn't want to do that? I choose to stimulate myself with my imagination. I choose to think of other worlds. I'm not, look, everybody's always saying this is the real world, this is the real world. I'm trying to like focus my face like this, but it's not working. This is the real world, this is the real world. I don't really give a fuck about the real world. I really don't. Because the real world is promoting sadness, lack, fear, anxiety. Oh, I don't have enough. No, I don't need that. My own world, which I call New Earth, has abundance, has love, has peace, has compassion. In my world, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And that's the life I choose to live. But everybody's like, oh, you're not realistic. I don't care. And that's the thing. Like, okay, people, if I don't live life according to your own terms, why do you want to force me to live it? If you're unhappy with how you're living and you see somebody living a happier life, you need to check yourself. Because if you're trying to like push me into what's the right word? The right side by making me see life as one where there's lack and I have to hustle and I have to be scared and I have to, I don't want that. I'm sorry. If you can keep what you are living with if that's working for you. Me, in my own world, anything is possible. I don't need to be in competition with XYZ because I know there's enough for everybody. I celebrate people's successes because I know that there's enough for everybody. There's abundance in my world. So you need to heal your inner child, because the whole realism, this is the real world thing, I really hate it when people say that. You need to realize that life is just more than what you think it is. You need to realize that. So yeah, how does one connect with their inner child? This is so interesting. By doing what they loved as kids. I'm just going to use myself as an example. When you want to connect with your inner child, you just engage in the activities that you loved as a kid, whether it was painting, finger painting. Sometimes I do finger painting. I didn't really do it as a kid, but I like that. Finger painting, watching Disney movies, the ones that I used to love, like Tarzan, Hercules, all the songs. Oh my God. Like Disney movies. Oh, what else? Any Blighting books. Oh, that's where my love for fairies came. I have this book called The Magic Faraway Tree. I got that for my 10th birthday and I'm saving it for my children. It's in pristine condition. I'm saving it for my children. The Magic Faraway Tree, and Blighting, even though she was a racist, by the way. She was a racist, apparently. I was just not even happy to hear that. But separating the art from the artist, and Blighting with the fairies and the magic. So I feel like for me, I only had 3 things that I loved. Reading, watching Disney movies. I used to watch KTV as well. I really loved KTV, but it was really reading and Blighting books, KTV, and Disney movies, and just imagining and dancing. Oh, I need to go back to dancing and singing. Those are my 3 things. I'm a very simple girl. I don't have many things that I do. Singing and dancing. I love to sing and dance. I love it. So something has actually been calling me to go back to that. I just loved it. So that's how you connect with your inner child, doing things I used to love as kids. Yeah. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean you have to let go of childish ways. It's even in the Bible. God, I wish I knew the quotes, but it's in the Bible. Like, children are the way. You can learn from them. Look at how children are. They pick things up so fast. They can learn languages in how long? Like, children are just everything. And I really despise the way we live in an ageist society. We look at kids and younger people as if they don't have sense. No, children are so wise, so wise. And we underestimate them. If you really were aware of your kids and really cultivated their talents, habits from the beginning, and you listen to what they say, oh, you're really setting a great foundation for them as adults. Trust me. Children are everything. Children are everything. Children equal love. Like, children are the physical manifestation of love. They are just free. They are just happy, joyful, no pressures of the world on their shoulder. And that's how we can be even as adults. I've said this before. You start with healing your shadow side, integrating it with your light side. Then you move into connecting with your inner child. Trust me that when you heal your inner child, life just starts to move forward much quicker than you would have if you were still an unhealed child in an adult body. Trust me. God, I just love this. So, summary. But I don't think the video is finished yet. Summary. One needs to heal their inner child. And how do they heal their inner child? By taking a walk through their shadow side, by healing the trauma that they have or the pain that they have, and finding out the root cause. It's at the root cause that you realize that all these pain and trauma happened in your childhood. So by healing that, you start to heal your inner child. Okay? Now, how do you connect to your inner child? By doing activities that you loved when you were a kid. For me, I love Disney movies. I loved singing and dancing, and I love reading any blighting books about fairies and magic and fairy tales, etc. I loved it. Yeah, that's it. So heal your inner child and connect with your inner child. You can do both interchangeably. You don't have to wait for one to be done before you can do the other. Trust me. I don't see if I have any more messages. It's really short, but I think I really covered what I needed to cover. But I want us as people to take children seriously. Yes, they still don't know about life in certain ways and they will need to be corrected. That's fine. But children should stop being underestimated. Children are so wise. They're so wise. They're so everything. And I find that because I've healed my inner child, I connect so well with children. I love them. They're beautiful souls. They are just everything. Like, when I was back in London, I met these 3 kids came to our door and they said they were selling shells, and I said, oh, I can't buy any shell, I don't have any money. So they gave me the shell for free, and I guess it was just the way that I smiled at them. I was just happy to see them. I love kids. I was just happy to see them, and I saw that. So they left. The next, I don't know what happened, or like an hour later, they rang the doorbell again. And they made me an envelope, written their name, saying to Faida from so. And so 3 of them have a wonderful day or something. And they drew pictures and they put sweets inside the envelope. And I was just like, you are so... I was just like, my heart. And then when I saw them again and I thanked them, I was like, see you guys. And they were like, you are so nice. And I was like, I'm not meant to be nice. It's just... wow, it's tears are coming to my eyes because I love kids. So my point is that children are so pure. There's some kids that are very unruly, yes, but the ones that are all right, you see them as well. So let's stop underestimating children. Let's stop not taking them seriously. Yes, they still need guidance. Yes, they're not fully developed in their minds, but they shouldn't be underestimated. I dislike that saying of children should be seen, not heard. You're stopping them from expressing themselves from a young age. And one thing I hate is suppression. You shouldn't suppress your kids. You shouldn't suppress your kids at all. And I would say something about me growing up. When I was growing up, I used to hear, calm down, stop talking. No, calm down, you're talking too fast. Keep quiet, all of that. And I was just like, okay, maybe I don't have something important to say. And another thing I used to hear, stop being yourself. Like, and I imagine children's a child's brain is like a sponge. It will soak all these things inside, and that's what they'll carry with them into adulthood. And if they don't heal it, that's what they carry with them into their own families. So you need to be very careful about what you say to your children. You need to be very careful about how you treat them. Honestly, if you make your children very aware, like, speech, make them express themselves fully, but still not be rude. There's a way that things can be balanced. But if you're aware of what you can, all these things, trust me, they're going to grow up into beautiful, beautiful souls. Trust me. Beautiful souls that don't need to be healed. And that's what I'm doing. I've healed myself, and I'm still healing aspects of myself that I didn't know that they had to be healed, because obviously it's like an ongoing journey. But I know that when it's time for me to have children, I'll be so happy if God. When it's time for me to have children, I know for sure that at least I won't be carrying trauma from my own upbringing into my family home. Maybe I'll give them trauma because you cannot raise children without fucking them up a bit. But at least it's not that I'm projecting my own trauma on them. So food for thought, okay? Tell me how you find this video. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your parents, because parents need to watch this. Oh my gosh, can you tell your parents to watch this? Can you tell your parents to watch this? Because imagine if our parents healed themselves. Imagine if our parents healed themselves from all that trauma that they had growing up. All that lack of emotional connection to their parents while growing up, because most of them didn't have that. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Lots of love. Bye.